I'm Dr. Emma Hitt-Nichols, and welcome to the new FDA Approvals podcast. This is information on the latest U.S. FDA approvals for the week of July 3rd through July 7th, 2023. And of course, that would include the July 4th holiday, so a little bit of a quiet week, but there is a little bit of news, so let's go ahead with that. Please do subscribe, rate, and review this podcast if you get a chance. Thanks so much. Leqembi has earned regular FDA approval. This approval went through for Leqembi, which is also called lecanemab IRMB, and this went through last week for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. The approval for Leqembi, manufactured by Eisai and Biogen, allows for Medicare payment and more insurance coverage so that more people can access the treatment. Lecanemab received accelerated approval in January of this year based on initial data showing removal of toxic amyloid plaques from the brain. Phase 3 data from the Clarity AD global clinical trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that lecanemab met trial endpoints, including significantly slowing cognitive decline by 27% in patients with early Alzheimer's disease. Leqembi is a humanized IgG1 monoclonal antibody directed against aggregated soluble and insoluble forms of amyloid beta. Last week's regular approval makes lecanemab the first in this class of drugs. Leqembi is indicated for initiation in patients with mild cognitive impairment or mild dementia stage of disease, the population in which treatment was initiated in clinical trials. Alzheimer's disease currently affects 6.5 million people in the U.S. Also last week, the Aveir, that's spelled Aveir, dual-chamber leadless pacemaker system manufactured by Abbott has become the world's first dual-chamber leadless pacing system used in people with abnormal or slow heart rhythms. More than 80% of people who need a pacemaker require pacing in both the right atrium and right ventricle. The device utilizes high-frequency pulses to relay messages via the naturally conductive characteristics of the body's blood between each leadless pacemaker. This conductive communication allows the use of less battery current than inductive radio frequency or Bluetooth communication technologies, which are other alternatives used in implantable medical devices or traditional pacemakers. Unlike traditional pacemakers, leadless devices are implanted directly into the heart through a minimally invasive procedure and eliminate the need for cardiac leads, reducing the risk for associated complications. Also last week, the FDA has approved a new drug application for 200 milligram per milliliter vials of cyclophosphamide injection manufactured by Nevacar. Previously, only solid formulations of cyclophosphamide have been commercially available, either as dry or lyophilized powder, which on reconstitution with water need to be used immediately. Also, when reconstituted with 0.9% sodium chloride injection, the solution is only stable for 24 hours at room temperature or up to 6 days in a refrigerator. The new liquid formulation will be available in 2 doses, vials of 500 milligrams in 2.5 mLs of solution and 1 gram in 5 mLs of solution. Cyclophosphamide is a component of a wide range of chemotherapeutic regimens for various cancers. According to the manufacturer, the product contains no unnecessary additives and will help reduce the risk of dosing errors. Also last week, Amneal Pharmaceuticals has announced it has received a complete response letter from the FDA regarding IPX203 for the treatment of Parkinson's disease. IPX203 is an extended-release capsule formulation of carbidopa-levodopa, which may provide a longer duration of therapeutic benefit with fewer doses than existing formulations. The NDA submission for IPX203 is based on the results from the Phase 3 RISE-PD clinical trial, which found that IPX203's extended-release formulation offers significantly more good on time as well as significantly less off time compared to immediate release carbidopa levodopa, even when dosed less frequently. The complete response letter stated that although an adequate scientific bridge was established for the safety of levodopa, the same was not adequately established for carbidopa, and the FDA has requested additional information. The IPX203 formulation is distinct from Amneal's Rytary, RYTARY. That's also a carbidopa levodopa extended release capsule formulation, and that was approved by the FDA in 2015. All right, that's it for this week. Again, a little bit of a light week because of the July 4th holiday, but please do check back every Monday morning for the last week's approvals so that you can stay up to date. This podcast is brought to you by Nascent Medical. If you're a project manager at a CME or medical communications agency and need on-call medical writing assistance, please visit us at Nascent Medical, nascentmc.com. We're a team of MD and PhD level medical writers, and we can create slide decks, white papers, ad board summaries, manuscripts, needs assessments, and much, much more in any medical area. We also do medical editing using AMA style and also fact checking. Visit us at nascentmc.com. And if you're a medical writer and you want to quickly look something up from this podcast, it's really easy. You can go to our podcast page at nascentmc.com, and there's now a search bar which will pull up the search notes from this podcast. So you can type in something like diabetes, and it'll bring up all the diabetes related agents that have been approved since May 15th when this podcast started. So it's a really great way of searching without bringing in the whole Google search to bear on the information. So definitely check that out. I think it's really useful for medical writers, especially when we're writing, needs assessments and things like that. And also, starting this week, we're also including the prescribing information with each summary too, to make it very convenient and easy to research agents further. Well, have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you next Monday. Take care.